the truth is known. So there are, because it occurred in the jurisdiction of the city of Sugar Land, the Sugar Land Police Department will do an investigation. And I think you all know that there was a retired police officer that was the one that shot the individual. And there was concern that possibly because he was a retired police officer, former police officer, that would have an impact on the investigation. And you need to hear from me that it will not. That has no bearing whatsoever on the investigation. The investigation will be fair, it'll be transparent, and it'll be open. And Eric can talk a little bit about that. Let's talk about what happens with the investigation. So when the investigation is undertaken, the evidence is reviewed, then when our investigation wraps up, we will provide that investigation to the district attorney at Fort Bend County, Brian Middleton. Brian will also have his own independent investigation. So there are two investigations. There's one done by Sugar Land PD, one done by Brian Middleton's office. And then Brian, as the district attorney, will determine if someone's found guilty and if there's a breaking of the law, and if someone will be prosecuted for that. And that rests solely with him. That doesn't rest with me, that doesn't rest with police chief or the city of Sugar Land as a whole. And that's not by way of saying that we are going to be involved, because we're going to do our investigation. But that communication back and forth will be open. But Brian will take more or less, let's call it the lead role, because he's over in Fort Bend County. He's over the criminal side of the investigation. So I'm going to turn it over now to, I think, Eric. Let Eric talk to you a little bit, update you. And then if Doug wants to say something, we'll do that. And then we'll open it up for questions. But I wanted you to hear it from me. This will be open, it'll be transparent, and we're gonna seek the truth and do the investigation.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, good afternoon. As a police chief, I just want to assure you we have an excellent relationship with all the members of our community here. The mayor has said it will be a thorough and complete and very objective investigation. We are working with the district attorney. In addition to what he said, immediately when the incident happened, we reached out to the district attorney, Fort Bend County District Attorney's Office, so that they can conduct an independent investigation. What we're doing now from the investigative standpoint, and I have to be careful on sharing as much information, but what we're doing now is we're making sure we be thorough with looking at all the evidence. There's some processing of evidence. There's also, we're trying to get statements from both parties. The individual who was shot, he is in the hospital. We are working through COVID restrictions and through his family, as well as through the district attorney's office to make sure we get a thorough investigation and a complete account of his side of what happened. And then what we do at that point is we will, as the mayor said, share that information and present that information to the district attorney's office, who is in charge of the prosecution of this case, and to determine what charges will be held against on any individual in this particular situation. That's what we have to do. It takes a little bit of time because we want to make sure we're thorough with the information, with the evidence, and processing all the evidence, and there is some evidence in this case. We are going to treat it no matter what, just like any other investigation that we do involving a situation like this. And it is unfortunate that it happened, but it's our job to bring justice to the situation. So that's what we'll do, and I'll be brief in this instance, and if there's any questions. with the district attorney, anytime we have a shooting, yes, sir. Anytime we have a shooting, it is a protocol for us to initiate communication with the district attorney's office. Even though he was a retired Sugar Land police officer, he was still a citizen in our city, and we have to do our job and treat him with the same respect. There have been other shootings in our city where arrests were not made depending upon the situation and the facts of this case. In this particular case, it happened on individual property, private property, so we have to consider all of that in this particular case. There was some factors that we had to determine before there was any type of charges. And right now, we're still gathering all of those facts and all that evidence.
So this is not really the best time for question and answer because we're running short of time over here. However, when we make progress, inshallah, I'll request the mayor, the police chief, the city assistant manager to give us some more time over here, and we can have a question and answer session specifically for this. So inshallah, all of you questions, keep it safe. Let them do what they're doing. Inshallah, once the conclusion, when we're at the conclusion, we'll have that opportunity to talk to them one-to-one and get this questions answered. Just to give you a quick update, I spoke to Brother Khalid today. Alhamdulillah, his son is in much, much better condition. He's progressing. They do have the investigators coming over to them on Monday. So hopefully, inshallah, the results will come out soon, and it will be in our favor, inshallah. But again, as I said, this is not the best time because we're running short of time. So I'll leave it here, and I really, really appreciate you all coming today. And we'll expect, if we need you again, I hope you would accept our invitation to show up over here.
We're happy to come here whenever you would like us to.
Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.